Thank you, sir. It was an absolute honor to have you grace the occasion. We are extending our warmest regards once again, sir. Many a thought and action has gone into organizing this conference. This now is a glimpse of the fruit that has been born as a result. We now request Mr. Johan Olofsson to release the proceedings of ICAARS 2022. We request other dignitaries to receive the copy of the proceedings.
Thank you, dignitaries. He is the Executive Vice President of Fenok India Private Limited for nearly 3 decades now, and had started as a junior engineer in this very campus at PhD Industrial Institute. We are proud to claim him as the alumnus, and he was also awarded the Outstanding Alumni Award in 2020. He has been a strong pillar of support and a bridge between Fenok and PhD. May we now invite Mr. B. N. Nandakumar, Executive Vice President, Fenok India Private Limited, to felicitate the event.
Thank you, respected members on dais, delegates from across the globe, and also some of them online today. Faculty members, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. At first, I would like to thank PSG management and Dr. Vinod for inviting me today. And I would like to share something about global market for robots, situation in India, and something for students. But please take it from me, my background is industrial automation, so all my numbers and feedback would be only on factory automation here. Globally, last year, there were about 517,000 robots manufactured. And this was about 31% growth over the previous year. We all know why. So why the robots have become more popular. And all of us can guess easily that out of these numbers, 52% have been consumed in China. And only 9% in Japan, 7% in US, 6% in Korea, and close to just 1% in India. But no, nothing wrong here, but it's still very positive. Our growth was 50% over the previous year. So that's very positive for us. As far as the robot density, what we call number of robots used in industry compared to number of employees, Korea leads with 932 robots per 10,000 employees in the world, followed by Singapore about 605, Japan 390 plus, and 370 in Germany. Global average is about 126. Coming to India, we are about 7 robots per 10,000 employees. But again, we have to look at this as a great opportunity for us for robotization. As far as the industry segment where these robots are used today, most of them are in automotive industry currently, but very recently electronic manufacturing and EMS are making great inroads. So we can see a lot of robots coming into EMS and EV industries very shortly. It's already happening today. Applications where the robots are used are handling, MIG welding and spot welding. So this is where the largest number of robots used. As you can see, these growing numbers, which are still growing, there are a lot of demands for robots. FANUC as a company manufacturers of industrial robots, we enhanced our production by almost 70% last financial year, our capacity. And we are working on increasing our production capacity by another 40% this year. In spite of this, the delivery time of robots today are even close to 8 months. So that's the huge demand still we have. If you wonder how this much of production capacity can be increased within a short period, 70% and another 40%. In case of FANUC, it's so easy, it's just by adding more and more robots into our plants, manufacturing plants. Today, some of the manufacturing plants in our factories in Japan are 100% run by only robots. We call it as a no man, no light factory. So they can run even for 1 month without any intervention of human beings. This level of automation possible on 2 or 3 points which are very major. One, which is of course, Vinod touched on vision systems and force sensors. These technologies are integrated to the robot to make it very flexible and intelligent, apart from using AI functions. In addition to that, the IoT, what we are talking today, I think the last 5-6 years we have been talking so much. FANUC has been using this technology for more than 2 decades in our factories, and then collecting data and then predicting the failures and then attending to them before even the failure happens. And finally, which is the most important aspect, is that the reliability of our products. If the products are not so reliable, we cannot have automated factories. So if I have to just give an idea, our robots today in industry, the mean time between failure is about 9 years plus. So that means to say it should not fail. The reducer's life in robots are about only 8 years. Having said all that, situation in India today, of course, automotive is the major drive for automation, even today. And the changes what we are seeing is that some of the tier 1 vendors to the major automotive OEMs, in fact, they crossed by having more number of robots than the OEM today. So the tier 1 vendors are investing. In addition to that, even the general industries, like companies over here, some of them I can see. So they have started using robots about 5-6 years before, and today they have more than 100 plus robots in their factories. It's not only limited to industries which are in urban, and we also have seen great success in some of the industries in rural areas. They started investing large number of robots, and then they are only using the local manpower only to make this cell up and running. So otherwise the reliability and the quality and the productivity is taken care by the robot cells. So this is the kind of things which we are seeing today. For students, automation is, it's a great field which is growing. Just now, Dr. Prakasam also said that. And robots, as all of you know, that it's not just one product. It has mechanical, electrical, electronics, AI, machine learning, deep learning. So all these technologies are put together, and vision sensors and all that, force sensors. You have a great future in having known these technologies, use it more intelligently, and then give unique solutions to various issues which are still there in manufacturing industry. I am sure that India is going to be the major system hub for many global manufacturers in very short while. And then already many industries are investing here for developing system solutions from India for their global industries. I only request students here to make use of the best of facilities available in many laboratories here and enhance your knowledge and be what we call industry ready when you graduate. Whatever knowledge at least I have in CNC machine tool till now is from the work experience I have got in PSG Industrial Institute when I worked here, and of course from some of the gurus. One guru is sitting in front, Mr. Krishnamurthy also. Thank you so much for this. For me, PSG is not just educational institution, Dr. Vinod, I want to say here, for me it's a temple of learning. So you have a lot of opportunity for learning here. Before I conclude, I would like to wish organizers great success for this conference and thank PSG management once again for inviting me here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for giving us some of the much needed information and numbers of the real world factory automation. We are truly privileged to have you with us today, sir. We know that it is not appropriate, but we do not want to miss an opportunity. We are happy to boast that the world-renowned robotics surgeon from India is amongst us. He is a famous urologist and visiting professor of PSG Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. He is also the chairman of the urology department at Hindustan Hospital, Coimbatore. Department of Robotics and Automation Engineering, L&T, and KAIST University of South Korea have partnered together for the EndoTrainer project, which was awarded the Best Innovation Award by the Department of Science and Technology, and his contribution in this project were primary. He is an ardent researcher and has performed more than 1,000 kidney transplants. We now invite Dr. M. Ramalingam to say a few words about his association with us and ICAARS 2022.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, and my co-researcher and organizing team under Professor Vinod, and faculty from abroad and in the nation, and the future of Indian research bunch of students. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for your kind words. And my bond with PAG goes from 2007 when I joined here in the PAG IMSR as head of the Department of Urology, and the management and the dean were so conducive for advancement in the Department of Urology. I'll talk a little bit about the progress in the healthcare system in the PAG family. When I joined here, there was no laparoscopy, just a starting of the laparoscopy, and I thought there is a need for animal lab, and they were all receptive, and then under my continued pressure and the then principal, Dr. Ramalingam, could convince the management and get a world-class animal lab here, through which we can train the people in laparoscopy, and even in the future, robotic training can be undertaken. So that's a big progress, and we had conducted many conferences like international conferences in urology, urogynecology, and many reconstructive surgeries. So we started the laparoscopic donor nephrectomy here. Previously it used to be by open cut operation, but now we are doing by laparoscopy. So many progresses are happening. But in around 2015, I had a passion how we are going to train the people in robotic. That was the time it was getting into the international scenario. When I visited San Francisco, the people at the age of even 70, Japanese were trying to learn robotic. So why not our young generation and the huge clinical material here in India cannot manufacture the trainer, and if possible even the real surgical robot. So along with Dr. Vinod, we could sign a MOU with the central government, guided by my very close friend, Mr. Krishnamurthy from LTTS. Thank you very much for coming here, sir. And we could carry out the project for nearly 8 years with a partial improvement. It just needs a fine-tuning, though it is recognized by the central government as one of the best projects. I will not take the credit until we finish it as a product to be used by the surgeons. So recently we have acquired the Da Vinci robot in PJMSR. So in the near future, we are going to see a lot of robotic surgeries are going to happen. So all this motivation comes from the encouragement given by the management. So now I have something to share with you. A BMW car or a high-end luxury cars are not that expensive when compared to surgical robot. It costs something like 16 crore to 20 crores. I don't know why it should cost so much. Why the brains in India cannot manufacture a surgical robot much cheaper. So the Chinese were able to do it much cheaper, and we have so much of talent here in India, and why we can't think about it and make a surgical robot affordable to healthcare system. That's very much needed here, because the Indian population is that only about 10% of the people insure. The rest of the 90% of the people don't get insurance. So they can't afford. Suddenly, if you want a robotic surgery for the kidney cancer, you have to shell out nearly 4 lakhs. How an average person or your own driver can afford to get a robotic surgery? My dream is that we should afford the state-of-art surgery to the needy people at an affordable cost. So this is the idea I am throwing to the young bunch of researchers, why we can't think about making it our own. They say even for a micro sensor we have to import from Germany. Why it cannot be manufactured here in an institution so huge like this here? So think about it. What are the components that can be manufactured, and how can we motivate or give pressure to the management why it can't be made as a center of research excellence? It all, somewhere we have to start. So we can't be buying the medical equipments. 90% of the high quality equipments we are importing. How much of our currency is going abroad? Not that we should not buy, but at least in the time to come, we have to start doing the research in a real sincere way and committed, dedicated, and we have to really achieve that one. This is my humble request to the young researchers, both the faculty and the students. And then the robotics in healthcare, there are some problems. It has come to stay. We can do common surgeries like kidney surgeries, prostate surgeries, uterine surgeries, and intestine surgeries, cancer surgeries by robot. But it is not without complication. In my next presentation, I am going to show it doesn't have the haptic. There are researches going on in the haptic, because it cannot appreciate the difference between a soft structure like a blood vessel or hard structure like a stone. You don't know how much is the grip needed. So it can cause damage to the organs also. So unless we incorporate haptics, it is not going to be very, very complication proof. So we need to look at that angle, and then we have to include artificial intelligence to diagnose diseases without invading the oral cavity or the abdomen. So even through endoscope or the cystoscopes, which can be handled by a robot, are in the research. So there are a lot of avenues for us to do healthcare research, and it is up to us to take it up and convince the management that we can take it forward. Image fusion is another area which Mr. Arjun here from Africa is partnering with us, and we are exploring how we can get it done, because these stone diseases are so very common. We are doing now by puncturing the kidney many times. Many punctures lead to loss of blood, loss of time, unnecessary radiation. If the radiation can be prevented by using the robot to puncture the kidney, then we save time, save complications, and we are quick. The patient can come out of anesthesia quick, and that way we are really doing good for the patient population. So these are the researches which are available for us. I request Dr. Vinod and people like Arjun and whoever is willing, I am ready to give projects. I have hundreds of projects in my mind. There are very few to take it up. So fortunately, we have come across our friends, Dr. Keshav from SUNY and Dr. Richards. We can take up their ideas and then build up a really good research center here for excellence. So I'm ready to give my cooperation. I can spare time. I can spare any number of ideas with you, and looking forward to your cooperation here, and wish you all the best, the young energetic researchers in the auditorium, especially the students. So this is a temple to learn, as Mr. Nandakumar told. Take up the ideas, build upon it, and have a bright future, and make India a proud country by making Make in India products, especially in the healthcare robotics. So wish you all the best. Thank you, Dr. Vinod, for the opportunity, and thank the international faculty for coming and sharing your knowledge with our young people here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the support and confidence in us. It is our honor to have such a renowned personality with us today. Thank you once again, sir. He is a professor from Purdue University. We have been associated with the professor since 2016 when the first edition of ICAARS was inaugurated, and he has bolstered all the editions of ICAARS. This distinguished guest has a very strong fan base among the students of our department. He has been a great pillar of support to our students by providing research opportunities during their masters at Purdue and also offering internships to our students since 2016. We now invite Professor Richard Wiles to felicitate the event.
All right. Well, thank you for that introduction, and thanks to Dr. Vinod and the committee for inviting me back again. I don't want you to get tired of me all the time, but at the same time, I really love coming back to this conference because of all the students in the room with us, and I think that's great. I think the engagement you have, the introductions you give, and the overviews, the singing, the dancing we had last time. I think is a really wonderful aspect. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about is rather than give, talk about the details of robots and research, is to really shout out to the students themselves, right? To think about, we talk a lot as professors about being lifelong learners. And what that means is we want you not to be static. We want you to be able to learn on the go your entire lives. But it's also important, one thing that I've been really focusing on in my work, that I learned from my work not only as a professor, but also being in industry and being with government, is that we as scientists and engineers also need to be lifelong teachers. And what I mean by that, it's important for you, the students, right, as you're learning your profession, to realize that you also have a duty coming with that, whether it be going out and being in a robotics company or being in a cable design company or whatever aspect of that is, that you need to help educate the public and your peers on what it is, right, that's important of this science and engineering. And I wanted to point out, some aspects of just briefly of my career, but these have also been echoed by people like Steve Jobs, who was really the creative driving force, not the engineering expert, but really drove Apple Computer and the rise of Apple Computer. And he ended up getting fired from Apple, yet came back to be CEO again later when Apple hit a troubled spot. And an important thing he said after coming back was in Stanford, he gave a very famous commencement address, which I encourage you to take a look at if you can. He's not the greatest speaker, but he talked about being able to reconstruct, looking at predicting, your future path in hindsight by connecting the dots behind you. And the issue he was trying to say was, in creating the Macintosh, which really revolutionized personal computers way back then, before most of your time, students, he actually, upon dropping out of university, stayed around to learn because he was at Reed College, and Reed College was known for their calligraphy program. And he thought, I want to be this lifelong learner. I want to absorb all I can, the best I can from everyone around me. And so he took some classes, even though he had dropped out of Reed. They let him hang around because he was a fun guy and a bright guy. But he took the calligraphy classes, not really having a purpose. And it wasn't until much later that he realized that connecting those dots, having that information, the detail, the theory, and the implementation of fonts, calligraphy, led him to make really what were at the time revolutionary improvements to the Macintosh as it became known. And so my point here is, whatever you're studying, that keep your mind open, right, to be a lifelong learner, because you never know what you're going to need and when. And these things can really have revolutionary effects, not only on your career, right, but on society in general. And so that's one thing I wanted to quickly say, and I think that is, really an important part of the ARS, right, that we're talking about in ICAARS. So again, thank you again for not only inviting me, but making sure all these students are participating as well in these scientific meetings. All right?
Thank you, sir, for your continuous support, and we look forward to the same kind of encouragement for future roboticists from PSG. IGCHE is run by a consortium of German universities seeking to institutionalize the exchange of Indian and German students. We have the president of IGCHE, Professor of Mechanical Engineering from the University of Westphalische, Germany, who also handles courses for PSG Institute of Advanced Studies. Being associated with him for the past 14 years has led to yet another development where he has been the initiator of the PSG Indo-German School of Applied Sciences, which is to be inaugurated shortly. He had been part of ICAARS 2018 also. We now invite Dr. Dirk Frohling, Professor, University of Westphalische, to share his views on the conference.
Ladies and gentlemen, dignities, thank you very much for the invitation, and also thank you very much for the honor to speak here. PSG and the IGCHE, the Indo-German Center for Higher Education, all collaborate since 2010, and PSG always proved to be a very excellent partner. And this also shows at this conference. It's my third time I participate here. So I attended all the ICAARS conferences, and it has been a pleasure every time. I think this conference is a perfect mixture of high-quality speeches and speeches and papers, and on the other hand, contribution by the students. This is an excellent way to enhance the capability of students to participate in a scientific community. It will be very helpful for their career later on. And also at the exhibition, startups have the opportunity to show their ideas, their concepts, and companies can make their products known to the future generation of engineers, which is also very important. So all in all, I think it's a really great conference. I'm looking forward to these 2 days, and I wish you all a very fruitful conference this year. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, Professor, for the kind words. We hope you have a fruitful time. We are grateful to all for your presence and valuable time. It is now time to honor our guests. We now invite our Principal, Dr. K. Prakashan, and Convener, Dr. B. Vinod, to present mementos to a guest on the dais.
Thank you, sir. We now invite Mr. Dharmendra, Chairman of the Students' Union of PSG College of Technology, final year student of Robotics and Automation Engineering Department, to honor Dr. Richard Voiles and Dr. Dirk Froling with a memento.
Thank you, Mr. Dharmendra. It is now time to execute the plan Dr. Suresh elucidated to us. Permit us to take a moment to thank the conspirators and delegates. We now request Dr. Subhashni, Organizing Secretary and Professor, Department of Robotics and Automation, to present the formal vote of thanks.
Respected Chief Guest, beloved guests of honor, Honorable Principal, heads of the department, deans, guests, invited speakers, delegates, faculty members, students, press, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of the organizing team, I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Let me start by giving glory to the Almighty God for providing the strength in organizing this third edition of International Conference on Advancements in Automation, Robotics and Sensing, ICAARS 2022. My sincere tributes to our founder principal, Dr. G.R. Damodaran, Shri C.R. Swaminathan, former Chief Executive Officer, PSG Institutions, Padma Shri Dr. Baldevaraj, and Dr. Kasi Vishwanathan, Raja Ramana Fellow from ICAARS. We seek thy blessings to walk in the path of your vision. I take this moment to pledge our sincere gratitude to Dr. P. Radhakrishnan, former Principal, PSG College of Technology and Director, PSG IAS, in molding us for what we are today. Honestly, I have no words strong enough to express my gratitude to our chief guest, Mr. Johan Wolfhoser, for gracing the occasion and commencing ICAARS 2022 with the excellent inaugural address. We are honored to having listened to you, sir. I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to our guests of honor, Mr. B.N. Nandakumar and Dr. M. Ramalingam, for blessing us with your presence. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this is surely going to encourage us in our future events, sir. My sincere thanks to Professor Richard Voiles and Dr. Dirk Froling for having been kind to offer their felicitations in this inaugural function. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and shown us a new path. Thank you, sir. I would extend my heartfelt thanks to the Program Advisory Committee members. Words are not enough to thank their constant guidance and support to shape this conference. Thank you. I just mentioned our deep sense of appreciation to all the plenary speakers for having been kind enough to accept our invitation and share their knowledge and practices in the field of robotics, automation, and sensing. We are honored to have you with us. I am extremely thankful to the PSG management for providing the necessary infrastructure and support for the conduct of this conference. We are highly appreciative of the leadership, encouragement, and extensive support provided by our respected principal. I express my sincere thanks to him to lay down the foundation and provide the context for deliberations of this international conference. Thank you, sir. I am very much thankful to the national sponsoring agencies, DST SERP, BRNS, DSIR, CSIR, and DRDO. It would not have been possible to organize it without their support. I also acknowledge with gratitude the support of our other sponsors towards this event. Words fall short when I try to express our sincere gratitude for your sponsorship. A special thanks to LAB, SNT, and FANU for being our platinum sponsors. We recognize with gratitude the significant contribution and wishes of our parents. Thank you PSG IAS and PSG CARE for providing the technical and financial support required to conduct this conference. Your help is very much appreciated. It would be incomplete if I failed to express my gratitude to our alumni for their inordinate support and contribution in making up this event. Thanks to all the exhibitors for being a part of this big event. We are indebted to your contributions and support extended towards this, creating a platform to explore and acquire knowledge. Thank you. I thank the reviewers for their time and effort in providing comments and suggestions on the articles received for publication. I would also mention my thanks to the authors for the research papers. Thank you all for joining us and making this event truly spectacular. In this very occasion, the Department of Robotics would like to thank all the recruiters and professors of international universities for recognizing the potential of our students and offering a wide spectrum of career opportunities. I owe our gratitude to Dr. Sundram for being with us in all our endeavors. The meticulous plan and execution of ICAARS 2022 would not have been possible without your guidance, sir. Thank you. I would like to thank our beloved head of the department for his perpetual support and direction that radiated a source of energy within us. Thank you, sir. I am extremely thankful to my team of motivated and dedicated faculty colleagues and staff of the department who had kindly cooperated and ardently involved in organizing this international conference. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling months in advance. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of dynamic and enthusiastic student volunteers. I cannot thank everyone for the involvement they have shown and the willingness they have expressed to take on this. Last but not the least, a big thanks to the general maintenance, audiovisual team, and canteen team for helping things run smoothly. Also, a huge thanks to the press who helped in documenting and publicizing this event. Once again, I thank each one of them who has directly or indirectly helped us organize the event. I wish all the participants a joyful learning and an enjoyable conference the next 2 days. Thank you one and all present here.
Thank you, ma'am. We request everyone to rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जाहे तब शुभ आशीष माहे जाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
We now invite the dignitaries and delegates to join us for the inauguration of the exhibition by Mr. Arjun Prakash, Director, Effica Automation, PhD Groups at the Quadrangle, followed by refreshments also at the Quadrangle. We will assemble at the same venue at 10:45 a.m. after refreshments for the plenary talk by Mr. Mahendra Patil from Fanuc, India. A parallel session on robotic surgery by Dr. M. Ramalingam will happen in Block F, room number 202. We hope all of you have a fruitful time in the conference. Thank you.
That's a new one, right? New presentation. It's a new one.
Check, 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 check. Hello, check. Check, check. Hello, hello. Check, check. Hello, hello. Check, check. Check. Hello, hello. Check, check. Testing, testing. Check, check. Check, check, hello, check, check, testing, testing, check, hello, check.
Sir, please join.
லேப்டாப் கனெக்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு போயிருக்காங்க.
எப்படி கனெக்ட் பண்ணுறதுன்னு பார்த்துக்கோங்க. அது நீங்கள் அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணணும். மேலே அவசரப்படாது.
registration. Yeah,